Hi guys, welcome back to class if you were in the previous one, or welcome if you've just joined. In this session we're going to continue to talk about romance, marriage, divorce, and we're going to focus on maybe learning some new words to do with this and vocabulary and things like this. Hopefully it should be interesting for you. We talked about this in the previous session, so we're just going to continue and maybe share different experiences from different cultures. It's designed for beginner students, but I think we can adapt, according to your level. But don't worry if you think you're not competent, just join now and we should be able to have a good, interesting conversation. So far we have Mona is in the Hangout. Hello, Mona. Okay, I can't hear you just yet. I'll just share my screen so you know what to do. Just here, okay? So you just see here. Please click on it if it's red, so it is not muted. Okay, please click on it if it's red. We should be able to hear you afterwards. But Mona, we can't hear you just yet, okay? Please check this, and we'll come back. Okay, so guys, as I've said, we're going to be talking about romance, marriage, and divorce, and things like this. So have a think of what it's like in your country. We're going to learn some new words like, for example, to get engaged, to get to know someone, to have a serious relationship, honeymoon, things like this. So we're going to talk about all these things. So please, 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 please join when you can, okay? And we'll get this conversation started. Okay. Mona, can we hear you now? Okay, not yet. But in the Verbling chat, oh yeah, perfect, cool. Yes, perfect. Mona, where are you from? Hello, Mona.
I'm from Yemen.
Perfect. Nice to meet you, Mona. Yemen, cool. Okay, so nice to meet you, Mona. Have we spoken before, or is this the first time we've spoken? Have we spoken
It's the first time,
before?
I think.
So welcome, Mona. How long have you been speaking English? First time. Perfect, cool. And how long have you been speaking English?
Um, 2 years maybe.
2 years or so, yeah? So that's cool, so welcome. And Samira's back.
Hi.
Nice to speak with you again, Samir. Good that you joined. And also C is back. C, are you there? Okay, can't hear you. But okay, guys, good. So we're going to continue. Samir and C, just check your mics, C, and hopefully it's okay. We're going to continue with the last topic, okay? And that topic is about romance, marriage, and divorce. Really quickly, Mona, because you weren't there, do you understand these 3 words? Do you understand what romance is, what marriage is, and what divorce is? Do you understand these 3 words? Okay, can't hear you. Mona, do you understand romance, marriage, and divorce? Mona. Okay.
Sorry, but
Wow, the aliens are coming. The aliens are coming. Okay, I can't hear you just yet. We'll come back to you. Don't worry. Murat, are you there?
Yes.
Perfect. Nice to speak with you, Murat. How are you today?
Thank you. How about you?
Not too bad. I'm also good, thanks, Murat. Okay, so we're talking about romance, marriage, and divorce. Do you understand these three words?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes,
understand?
yes, I am. I know.
Okay, and what is it like in your country with romance and marriage? Do you get married to someone because of romance or because of maybe more practical reasons? Okay? Do you get
Yes.
married with people who you just fall in love with, or do you have to consider some other factors?
Uh, I couldn't understand.
Okay. What influences the choice of
Uh,
girl who you marry, Murat?
Yes,
Uh, is it romance? Is it because you think, I love her, or is it
it's
something else?
maybe romance.
Romance. Okay, this is
Yes.
cool. Interesting. Okay, so Mona, we have you twice in the hangout. Are you there? One of you. I just need one Mona, yes? One is enough, maybe. I don't know, can we hear? We've got two Monas and none of them can speak, yes? It's the same girl, I think, but with two different ones. We'll see which where the voice comes from, then we'll kick one out, yeah, to give space for someone else. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so Yusuf. Are you there, Yusuf?
Yes, hello. Sorry, it was loaded.
No worries. Yusuf, okay, so good to speak with you. Three words, romance, marriage, and divorce. What do they mean? Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. And how is it are you a romantic person? Is it important for you to get married? And are you likely to end up in divorce afterwards? Welcome to class, guys. Yeah, let's start with, no, not you personally, but in your country, I mean. In the UK, the marriage is based on really pure romance, yeah? So it's not about the family, it's not about the parents' job, it's just, do you love this person, yes or no? Okay? Then they get married, and then 40% of them get divorced afterwards, okay? That's the usual process. It sounds very depressing, yeah? So how is
Divorce
it in your
also
country?
happens. Divorce always happens, despite of love or something. It's just happened. Just
Okay.
like it's case of understanding and all these things.
Yeah, so it is based on romance, yeah? Pure love. You like her and she likes you, you get married, and then is the divorce rate high? This is the last question we talked about in the last class. It's about divorce and things like this. Is the rate of divorce high in your country, Yusuf?
Well, I cannot say it's too high, but also it's not that less. I mean, yeah. I mean,
So it's somewhere in the middle.
Really,
Somewhere.
yes, somewhere in the middle. It's my advice for anyone. If you love someone, just don't marry her.
Okay, so if you love them, don't marry, yeah? Just continue to fancy them, okay? That's cool. And Yusuf, so your country is what again? Sorry, where are you from?
Yemen.
Yemen. Okay, sorry, I feel ashamed because I've spoken to you several times. And Mona is also no. Who is from Yemen? Mona, I think. Is it Mona? From Yemen. Cool. Okay, so you're saying if you love them, don't get married. Marry someone you don't love, so the divorce is easier. Nice. Okay, so okay, good, interesting advice. Who else wasn't there in the last class? So, Klassen? The last class or lesson? Klassen. I've invented the word. Okay, Mimi, Mai.
Hello. Hello,
Were you in the
Martin.
last class?
Hello, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Mimi.
too. I'm listening from since morning. Very nice topics today, wealth and now marriage and divorce. Oh.
So you've joined
So-
the Classens, yeah? You've joined the Classens, good. Okay, Mimi, I
Yes.
can guess you're from Egypt.
Yes, for the pyramids, of course, you know.
Good, okay. So
Okay.
you're from Egypt. How is it in Egypt? Someone was from Egypt in the last Classen. I'm going to use this right now, I think that's cool. Okay, so and they said that marriage is kind of, yeah, it's similar. It's kind of like a mix. Yeah, it's partly to do. I think what I understood, partly to do with parents, but also you can get divorced. Yeah, so that divorce is high.
So, what's your question?
What's the situation
You're
like
asking
in
about
Egypt?
About what? About marriage?
Marriage and divorce. What's it like? The
Divorce
situation.
and divorce. Now in Egypt, it's we have high rate divorce and high rate marriage too. So
It's important.
I don't know. Maybe because we are. I think we should be more. We are getting married so fast, so we don't understand each other very well, and that's why we are getting divorced very fast too.
Okay.
So that's next generation. You know, they are taking everything is fast, married fast, eating fast, and divorced fast. So everything around us is
Very
quick,
fast.
quick, quick.
Yeah?
So yes, and now the rate of divorce is very high in Egypt, and
But
I
the
don't know
marriage
why.
is also, yeah. So you have to get married
Yes.
first.
Of
It's not
course,
just-
if the divorce is high, the rate divorce is high. Of course, rate marriage is high too. So.
Yeah, you know, they're kind of linked somehow, yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, so it's difficult to divorce someone you're not married to, although anything's possible nowadays. So any more comments on this? The rest were in the last class. Guys, you are all of a good level, so we can maybe talk a little quicker.
I want to I want to give a comment about the parents.
Sure.
My father and mother they married and they have their parents' permission, but I think next new generation now is not. They are different. They can take everything their decision alone, and that's why maybe that's why the divorce is.
But the parents is very important also.
Yes, it's very important, but not like our parents. You know,
So it's
now we
changed.
can. Yes, it changed. Generations change.
And it would be the same comparing the UK now with 50 years ago. You know, the reasons for marriage in the UK 50 years ago were not what it is now. Yeah, so before really you had to get married.
Yes, and yes, and now the
Salaries.
women and men are looking for different criteria to marry. It's not like 15 years before. So I don't
Actually,
know.
I like not because of two salaries. You needed to get married in the UK because the woman would stay at home and the man would earn the money. Yeah, and you needed these two roles for the children and things like this. But now it's different. Yes, people become more independent and thinking for
Yes,
themselves.
yes, okay.
Okay, so
Same thing for us in Yemen.
okay, so it's the same in Yemen. People are becoming more independent away from their parents. They're making their own decisions, right?
Yes, yeah.
Is this a good or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing because in the past it was the parents' decisions. So
So now you can have more control.
yes, yeah.
Well, Martin, it's not that type of control that, especially to the girl that she choose who to marry. But
Okay.
now at least she cannot, she can say no sometime. Okay, when someone come to ask the girl from the father or the family, before she even she wasn't able to say no. But now she cannot choose. But maybe she can say no one or twice. But you know, eventually
she-
she have to
yeah.
listen to the parents.
So
But
before, for
still-
example, if the family said marry this person, that would mean marry this person.
Definitely. Now they will ask. Then she might say no, I don't want, and that person. And second time, other person comes, she might say no, but third, fourth time, she will be forced to.
Okay, yes, that's interesting. Yes, so now it's moving and people have more say. And what do you think of this, Yusuf? Yeah, so is this a bad thing? Are people becoming too picky with the people they marry, do you think?
Well, I mean, I cannot say it's a bad thing. Okay, it's not a good thing, but also it depends on the culture of the country itself.
So it depends on the culture, it depends on the individual circumstances. Yeah, you can't generalize, it's difficult. Okay, that's interesting.
Because I like in our country, because of the religion and because of the culture, you can't date at all. So so getting married and arranged marriage has to be there, because if you don't go with the arranged marriage, because there is nothing called dating, or you cannot date or get to know a person that.
So if you don't get married, you just don't have the relationship, yeah. So it's
exactly
quite important.
Exactly, because it's forbidden according to the religion and according to culture, especially for the girls.
Okay, it's interesting. So guys, what we're going to look at today is, now I'm going to show you a text about, so we're going to learn some new words about this whole process, and we're going to read a text about something that maybe is what's kind of common in the UK, a common situation. I don't want to, so we're just going to talk about this and the differences, so you can maybe hear from what it's like in an English-speaking country, that kind of thing, our attitudes, things like that, okay? So, yeah, I don't want to corrupt anyone, no. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. But anyway, okay, so interesting. I'll share my screen. I'll send you this link. We're going to talk about some new words in this on the sheet. Okay, so I'll send you this now. Okay, please open this. You might have to zoom in, and I don't know if it's clear enough, but we'll see. You might have to zoom in using the feature in the top, the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, just zoom in now here, and there's a text. There's some text about romance, marriage, and also children, things like this. Example cases, yeah. So case studies. Can you all see this? It's very. I realize it's a little blurry. Okay, can everyone see this enough to be able to understand what it's saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So, do you agree with disagree with marriage in the West? Okay, so sometimes, Karim, a girl would marry a rich husband. Yeah, that sometimes happens, whereby a girl is marrying a guy because he has a lot of money or from a rich family. That would happen, but I think that would happen everywhere. Yeah, so the parents, of course, want their children to marry into a rich family. So I guess this would happen in your countries as well. But it's also about love, yeah? So sometimes, for example, a girl would marry a guy from a poor family because they still have the potential to, if they've got good education, whatever, it doesn't matter about the family's background, things like this. But of course it depends, yeah? So it depends on the people, but a lot of it happens. For example, you see, if you're walking down the street sometimes in the UK, you see a really old man with a really, really, really young, beautiful girl, and you can bet your bottom dollar. Sometimes it could be love, but you can bet your bottom dollar is about money, yeah? So if there's a massive difference, like 80 and 20, yeah? Something like this, you can see it'll be materialistic. Although Hugh Hefner is doing well out of it, Abdul, yeah? So look at him.
No,
I guess it's the same in America, Abdul, yeah?
Yeah, but when you were when you was talking about the old and young combination, example came into my mind about French president,
Oh yeah, the old one, was it? With the model.
Yeah.
And things like Berlusconi, yeah, in Italy, you always see him with like really, really young girls. It's because of money, yeah. So it's well, okay, I don't want to judge, yeah, because you can fall in love with someone who's 70 years older than you, I guess. But I would say, I don't know, it's usually about money. Okay, it's like a businessman, maybe. I don't know. Okay, when he dies, then they can get a new one. Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, let's go on. So, romance. Who would like to read the first paragraph, please?
I can read.
Yes, please, Abdul.
I had my first date when I was 16, and it was terrible. I took a girl to the cinema, but she didn't like the film and she looked bored all evening. It was a bad start. Then when I was 17, I went out with a girl for 3 months, but we broke up when she met a boy who was 2 years older than me and had a cat.
I read cat as well, but then I realized that's stupid. So, sorry, the girl broke up with the boy because the other boy had a cat. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so car, yeah, yeah.
My first serious relationship was when I went to university. I got to know, it's very blurry,
Yeah, yeah.
Meline?
I think Melanie.
Melanie, because
But
we
you can
were
say
on
Madonna
we
if
were,
you like, yeah?
because we were on the same course. At first, we were just friends when we started going out with each other. And after a few months, we realized we were in love. We got engaged a couple of years after we left university, and then.
And then, okay, so, did everyone understand? Yeah, so, once again, just close this. Okay, did everyone understand the text?
I think it's pretty clear.
It was quite clear.
Yeah.
Mona, did you understand? Okay, can't hear. Okay, shout out if you didn't understand, but I'm just going to clarify some new words with you. I'm going to talk about this and compare what it's like in your countries, okay? So it should be quite interesting. Okay, so he said I had my first date when I was 16. Okay, and someone already mentioned this word date. What is it for those? So, Murat, can you describe what is a date? A date.
Date.
Don't say a fruit. It's the name of a fruit as well. Yes, the name of a fruit, and also today's date is, but a date in this context, a date. I had my first date.
If somebody met first time.
It's not the first
Maybe.
time. So they would meet up originally, so they'll get to know each other. I don't know. Usually it's at school or at some kind of, I don't know, club, like sports club or something, or some kind of hobby, yeah, that you do together. Usually at 16 it'll be at school. So they'll get to know each other at in the class. They will talk. Maybe they are friends or whatever, and then they start talking, and then somehow it gets a bit more serious. Or the boy likes the girl, or the girl likes the boy, and they arrange a date. And this is like, you can know, you can be aware that it's a date, or you can just say, let's go to the cinema, just because you want to see the movie, and then it turns into like a date. Yeah. So this is
Okay.
also common. So Murat.
Okay.
Okay, then so they'll meet up at maybe a date would be like a restaurant, a cinema, just usually with these the boy and the girl, and they'll just talk. Okay, and the date, the first date usually doesn't lead with anything. They don't become boyfriend or girlfriend. They just talk. They nice. Maybe at the end of the first date, they would hug each other, and maybe, although not always, the guy would kiss the girl on the cheek. Not on the lips. That's too close to the first date. Okay? There's a thing that they talk about in America called bases, yeah? So base 1, base 2, base 3, or something like this, like baseball, yeah? So I've heard about this, but yeah, we just say there's different stages. So the first date, you shouldn't get too close. You should just be nice. You should just talk. Don't talk too much about yourself. Just have a nice evening, yeah? That's the first stage, or first base, as they say in America. Then you might arrange a second date to do something else. Then maybe after the third or fourth date, it gets somewhere, yeah? So you can then start maybe some kind of relationship. Okay?
Yep.
And Yusuf pointed out, say it, Yusuf. It always starts with an ideal date. Yeah. The perfect date is the first one. You have to give the good impression afterwards, you know.
Yeah, but always it ends with a disaster after they get married, you know.
Yeah, afterwards, yeah, because there's no commitment. Well, not commitment. There's no obligation now to impress. Yeah, so the contract's already been signed. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, Basant. Okay, dating. Is it common in your country to date?
No.
No. Okay. What do you think of this idea? Would it be odd if one of your friends said, "Oh, I went on a date yesterday evening"? Basan, would it sound strange if a friend said to you, I went on a date?
Is it asking someone out, right? That means going on a
Yeah,
date.
so to say I went to a restaurant with a girl. So if you said this, Yusuf, yeah, I went on a restaurant last night with a girl, is this strange? If you weren't married,
I'm afraid I didn't get the question.
No worries.
maybe-
The process of dating, like for example, going for a meal at a restaurant with a girl, okay, who you're not married to, is this a strange concept?
Like you are going like as a date?
Yeah, to go on a date. Or even, for example, if you're not wanting a relationship, sometimes dates can start off where they don't want a relationship. They're just close friends, and they do something together. Like, let's go to whatever. Yeah, so it can happen.
Yeah, I think when you ask a girl out for a restaurant or for a movie, if you mean by asking her out as a date, I mean that will be obvious. I mean, if it is as a date or just hanging with a friend.
Okay, yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, and Karen said date, smile, kiss. Well, usually maybe you'd smile before the date, and depending on how well the date went will be determine your next facial expression, yeah? So, okay, so date, smile, kiss, engage, married, kids, divorce. Principally, yeah? Western culture maybe, Karen, principally. Although not always, yeah? So, this divorce, the majority of people don't get divorced, yeah? When I say the majority, it's very close, half and half, but yeah, okay, so it depends on the circumstances. Okay, so who comes from a country where dating is normal? Okay.
Martin, sorry,
Okay.
my
Yes.
connection was bad.
Oh, your microphone's dead. No worries, no worries. Okay, so if a friend, if a guy friend of yours wasn't interested, because it happens, not all guys want to date all the girls they meet, yeah? So I have friends who are guys, girls, whatever. I have a girlfriend, but I can still be friends with a girl and not want anything from this girl, yeah? So just as a friend. Basan, if someone asked you to go to the cinema, or to go, do you fancy going to the cinema, and he was a guy, would this be unusual? Okay, I think the mic's dead again. But okay, that's cool. We'll come back. Okay, so Abdul, how is it in America? I think the mall is a big part. Yeah, the going
You don't
to the
need
mall.
to ask the question from me.
But do you see it when you're at the mall, the shopping center? You see a boy and girl, holding hands, doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it's normal. It's in our culture.
Yeah. Okay, so it's interesting. It's cool. Okay, so let's read on. I can hear a bit of background noise, but I don't know where it's coming from. We'll see. Actually, I think it's okay. I think it's just me. Okay, so let's go on. So that's a date. So I had my first date when I was around 16. I'd say 16 for a proper date is about average, I would say, yes, for the first date. I took a girl to the cinema, but she didn't like the film and looked bored all evening. Okay, it was a bad start. A bad start meaning it didn't start well. I guess you can guess this. And then it says, I went out with, to go out with someone. That's a very common expression, to go out with someone. Okay, to go out with someone, it just means to date someone. So, are you going out, I'm going out with her, or she's going out with him. Yeah, that means they are dating. Okay, they are doing things together, they're maybe starting a relationship. They're dating. They're going out with each other. In fact, to go out, they are already together, yeah? So, you can still go on dates. You go on dates when you are together, when you say, oh, will you be my girlfriend or whatever. Or you can go on dates beforehand, yeah? So the first date is before they get together. But afterwards, then they are together, yeah? Usually, maybe after the second or third date. could be. Okay, so that's to go out with someone. That's not to be married. That means just to be dating someone, to have a girlfriend or boyfriend. Yeah, I'm going out with her, or he's going out with her. Yeah, something like that. They are dating. They're not married. Maybe that one's not so useful, but we'll go on. So, but we broke up. Yeah, at 16, of course, people are not so mature. So these relationships are not usually serious. But I have a friend who has been going out with a girl since he was 13 years old. Okay, and they've been going out for seriously. Even now, they're going out for like 7 or 8 years, whatever. And you know, it's still quite big. Yeah. So sometimes, occasionally, it can work where it's serious, but usually not. Yeah. Usually, this story is very rare. So at 16, it's not usually serious, and you get together, and usually you break up. Okay?
Yep.
To break up with someone is to end the relationship. Stop dating. Yeah?
To
So
split
you
up,
date,
yeah.
everything's nice. Yeah, split up. Split up is also so, but you can say this, I split up with, yeah, you can say this about divorce as well. We split up, we broke up. Okay, meaning together, nice, we went to the cinema, he spent all the money and now she goes. Yeah, so that can, okay, so all vice versa, yeah, so that kind of thing. Okay, usually not very serious at that age. Then what happened? Okay, my first serious relationship was when I went to university. When we say serious relationship, yeah, okay, I'm just saying how it is, yeah? So I'm not going to, I hope I don't offend. A serious relationship usually implies that they have, you know, had sex, yeah? That's usually what a serious relationship implies, okay? In Western culture, I know this is not the same in your culture, I'm just saying how it is. But serious relationship would be, it's serious, okay? Just going to the cinema, not just going to the restaurant, but yeah, potentially they could get married at this stage, yeah? Well, not at that stage, maybe a couple of years later they could get married, but it's where they're really, really close, they love each other, yeah? So, yeah, that's usually what it is.
When you are serious and you are interested, you know.
Yeah. So they're serious. It's not just like they're going off with some random person in their university accommodation or whatever. They are together, they've been dating for a long time, and they are now serious, yeah? They are a couple. Okay, so I got to know, yeah? To get to know someone. Do you understand this?
Yep.
Yusuf asked me what, my first date was when I was 14, yeah, but it was rubbish. It was really, really bad. It was just walking around the forest and then we went to a cafe, yeah, so it's not very good. But yeah, so that's usually, but it's not serious. In fact, I wouldn't have even called it, we wouldn't call it a date then, yeah? So a date is usually something like that, but that's what you could say is the first kind of date. Okay, so I got to know Melanie because we were on the same course. You get to know someone usually at the university, and it doesn't have to just be about relationships or romance. It can also be about friends. Oh, we got to know each other. We've known each other for 20 years, or we've known each other since we were at high school. That could be just a friend, you can say, yeah, to get to know someone. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Was that clear, Mimi?
Yeah.
Okay, so to get to know someone.
Yes.
Murat, to get to know someone.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so that's that. Okay, that's cool. To get to know someone is probably a more useful word, yeah? So it's an expression. At first we were just friends, then we started going out with each other, and after a few months we realized we were in love, yeah? To be in love with each other is different from to be attracted. Usually, relationships start maybe out of attraction, not just appearance, but character. Someone is attracted to you, that means they are attracted to you either because they like the way you look, or they like your character. They just are attracted to you, they want to be with you. So that is an attraction, and then to be in love is where you go past that stage. at first you're attracted to that person, that someone makes you interested in them, then you go past that stage, and then you start to really love that person, to be in love with them. As in, you find it difficult to do things without that person. Okay, so that's the next serious stage. To be in. Okay, so that develops. So I would say the attraction is the first stage, and that's they like your character, or you like their character and personality, and maybe the way you look, things like this. That's attraction. Then that can develop into love. Okay, and with love, that would be usually a serious relationship. Yeah, involving love. Yeah, so it's not just casual. Yes. Okay, so that's that. And wait, we start going to love. We got engaged a couple of years after we left university. Yeah, to get engaged. Do you understand this? To get engaged. Samir, do you understand?
Yes, I think to get married.
Yeah. It's not necessarily just to get. It is to say to the
Wedding?
partner. Oh yeah. Will you marry me? They could plan a wedding, so they are fiancés, what we call fiancés. Okay.
Before marriage.
Sorry. So engagement is not fiance. They are still relationship.
So they are engaged. They're in a relationship, but they are planning to get married. But
He asked her for marriage.
marriage. Yeah. He proposes. He says, "You are the love of my life, Aurora. Will you marry me?" Yeah. So we've been together for 5 years now. It's about time we got married. Something like this. And yeah, this is how it would happen. They'll propose. And for example, you could say to your girlfriend, "Oh, will you marry me?" But not plan the wedding just yet. It could be we're engaged. We'll get married in 3 years. For example, if you're at university, you can get engaged because at that time you don't have money to get married. Yeah, so it might be we get engaged, which means we are committed to getting married one day. Okay, it doesn't mean to say that you're going to get married next month or next year. You just get engaged, and that means you commit yourself to each other, and that means you say to each other you are going to get married, and then you will arrange the marriage maybe when you get a job, when you've got enough money, but you are committed to each other, and you give a ring, and this shows that they are engaged. They will get married at some point. Okay.
Okay. What's the difference between engaged and fiance?
No, yeah, they will be your fiance. You're engaged to get married. So the person, for example, this happened to you. You get engaged with a guy. This guy would be your fiance.
I can say that record if you want.
So they are the same. Okay.
Same. Yeah, the same.
Okay.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recall a word which means that when someone thinks he loves someone, but he actually don't. He's just attractive and he thinks he's in love. And I don't know, it's like infatuation, something like that.
Okay, yeah, something that's when you're attracted. And this is usually, so that's why I said the attraction stage. And then,
Other word,
you get like rose
infatuation.
petals on your eyes, rose petals, rose tinted glasses, and you see everything wonderful. And that's why, for example, usually, eventually, if they don't love each other, they will break up eventually. Something will happen. If you love someone, I guess, well, yeah, if you love someone, you accept all their bad things as well. So I think, yeah, the attraction stage can only get to a certain point, and after a while, if they're not really in love, they will break up naturally anyway, yes? If they're not really in love, they will break up, I think. So usually that's why people maybe wait a couple of years before anything like marriage, yeah? That can be quite difficult if you don't really love that person. And
Sorry. Can I ask you a question? I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I know in West Europe and USA, sometimes they are staying more than 10 years, having one or more than 2 kids, but they are not getting married. So actually here, it's strange for us here in Middle East. You are having kids and you are in love, but you did not get married. So I don't know why. This question always I'm asking to myself, why?
Yeah. Okay, so this happens.
You are in love and you have kids and you stay more than 10 years with each other, but you did not
Some
decided to
argue
get
nowadays.
married. So why, how they are thinking, why that's happening?
Okay, because traditionally marriage is a very religious tradition, and well, if you're going to put a religion in the UK, well, you can't really put a religion in the UK because it's such a mix. If you go to London, you can't say, for example, the main religion is Christianity. There's Muslims, there's Hindus, there's people from lots of different parts of the world. But if I were to put a religion that I say the traditional religion in the UK is Christianity, although the majority of the population are not actual Christians. So therefore there's this not a religious obligation to get married, but they're saying, so therefore some people are of the opinion that we don't need to get married to prove we love each other, to prove we trust each other, because marriage is just on paper. This is their point. If we love each other, we trust each other, we're having children, we're on the same terms, we can. Why should we sign a piece of paper? What's the difference? Because nowadays in the UK, the paper doesn't even mean anything because you can get divorced. Yeah. So once you sign the paper, it doesn't mean you're committed for the rest of life. If you really want to break up, you can get quite easily. So saying, well, why do we need to go through this kind of bureaucratic process when we both know our feelings for each other? We don't need to prove that. Yeah, so that is.
But maybe after 10 years, he will ask her to marry him. So they need to marry.
I'll give you an example as well. My mum's best friend has been dating. You could say dating a partner for 16 years. 16 years.
Oh.
Okay, they're together.
Okay.
They trust, but they haven't got married. And they're perfectly happy. We keep asking them because it's a continual family friend joke thing. We can say, when you get married, when can we come to the wedding? I say, yeah, next year. It's always the yeah, next year. And they're both very, very happy, and they're completely committed to each other. They will never go with anyone else, but they just haven't felt the need to.
It seems like they are, when we decided to get married, they are renew their relationship, we are starting a new beginning. I don't know, maybe they are thinking like that.
But it's interesting also because they're both very independent. The woman's very independent and the man's independent as well.
Maybe yes, you are totally right. Independence, maybe.
Usually what happens when you get married, you have children, then not to generalize because it depends, but usually the woman does, the housework, does more of the housework and the chores and things, and she just said, well, I don't want to do this. Yeah, so if he wants to do it, he can do it as well. Yeah, so it's this kind of attitude as well that people maybe are becoming more independent. And they spend a lot of time together, but they also have separate apartments because when they argue, they think it's better just to sleep in separate apartments, and rather than continue the argument, they just go their separate ways and they come back. And it's very unusual. It's not so common, but I'd say this is maybe starting to happen where people have this, where they're committed to each other, but officially not married. So yeah, they can still live separate lives, they can still do what they want, and they're not obliged to do things that they don't want to do, like, for example, cleaning after your husband, or the husband doing something, that kind of thing, yeah? So I'd say that's probably another reason. But I don't know what it's like in America, Abdul. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I heard many times in America.
Okay, but it's not so common. Most people would. Well, it's common, but I mean, proportionally, it's not so common. I'd say if people have been together for 10 years, they'll get married. Yeah, that's usually so, but it does happen. Personally, I'd say still people want to get married. Yeah, I wouldn't say marriage is completely dying up, but people like the idea of it, particularly the women. They say, well, being together, I want to wear the white dress. I want this day. Yeah, this kind of thing. And guys, I guess, would also later on.
If you say the paper doesn't mean anything, so why they got married?
Out of tradition,
yes,
ceremony.
I was going to ask this question.
They get married because of the ceremony, or it's like a woman's dream to wear the white dress and act like a princess.
Okay, what other commitments when they got married and have this papers, and I mean, what other commitment will be added to their relation? Usually,
most people don't plan on divorce when they get married. Divorce happens because of various reasons. It could be, for example, a woman decides to divorce her husband because he's violent and he attacks her. In that case, she is free to leave this relationship, or it could be something like they're causing lots of arguments, which is causing the family life to be dangerous for the children. That would be another reason for divorce. Or it can be, for example, if the husband's cheated on the woman doesn't accept that and say, right, you can't. Why should I continue to be loyal to you if you've betrayed our relationship? But there's lots of different reasons.
So so they just keep dating for 16 or 20 years, having children without getting married, with the intention of break up any moment, right?
No, well, you can break up any moment with regards if you're married or not. Yeah, so it's easy to do. They just didn't, for their life, they didn't need the wedding because, well, it's really it doesn't serve much of a purpose in the UK anyway. Yeah, so if in terms of the love, it doesn't change the love. But some people want to have the wedding. Some people just don't want the hassle of having this special day. They don't feel they need it. Yeah, so it's about personal choice. Yeah, so you can choose to have it. You can choose not to do it. Personally, one day I'd like to have it. Yeah, so I'd like to get married. But it depends on the person. People are different. But it's about having the choice. If you want to get married, you get married. If you don't, it's your life. Yeah, so that kind of.
So what about
Would you like to get married?
I would want to get married one day, but not now. Yeah, so, but one day I'd like to get married, of course. Yeah.
What about having children before married? Is that normal?
And yeah, this is an interesting point. And this is can be also a reason for divorce because.
Sorry, Martin, we are turning. You're asking many questions today about marriage.
No, please, because it's different cultures, yeah, and
yes, that's why it's a very great opportunity for me to ask someone in another culture about my questions. So thank you so much.
No worries, yeah, by all means. And for me, it's interesting hearing from your perspective as well. Like earlier, for example, about the arranged marriage. At first, when I heard this, I was like, "What?" Yeah, but then when you're explaining it, actually, I can see the logic behind it. Yeah, so it's about understanding each other. It's not about saying this is right, this is wrong. It's about understanding each.
Yes.
So that's why bubbling is good. Yeah, we can share and become more friendly. Okay, so this could also be a reason for divorce, is because people in a serious relationship, and that means they're having sex, and whoops, something went wrong. Baby, oh crap, what do I do? I can't tell my parents. Let's get married. Maybe they get married too quickly. Okay. And because they got married too quickly in this situation, out of maybe a crisis, a problem, because maybe the woman doesn't want to get rid of the baby, she doesn't believe in abortion or whatever, then that could be a reason for getting married, and then maybe the relationship is not, is doomed, yeah? So if marriage is if it's done too quickly, yeah? Because they haven't really considered too much. That could also be another thing. But this happens, sometimes things can go wrong, especially if you're in a serious relationship before marriage, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So that is another reason. But generally also some people get married not necessarily because of love, but for other reasons. There's lots of things. Yeah? Things let's marry a rich husband. Let's marry because if I marry, another thing that happens in the UK is buying brides from other countries. This does happen. Is that, for example, there are companies whereby illegal companies where you can buy a beautiful bride from another country. So if you, for example, don't want a British girl, a Russian beautiful woman, you can buy this, and that's another thing, yeah. Or someone, we call this mail order bride, and this is not common, but this is an industry as well, like an undercover industry. And this is another reason for marriage, is because maybe the old man wants to buy, wants to have a really beautiful wife, yeah, and they get married because of these reasons. Okay, but that's something. I don't know, Abdul, have you heard about this mail order bride?
To buy a bride?
To buy a bride, mail order bride.
I heard about it before.
You've heard?
I heard, yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's, I get emails. I don't know. It's like spam. I get marry this person. No, thank you. Yeah, I don't want to pay money to marry someone. Yeah, so I think it's dreadful. But people make money out of this as well. These companies. Yeah, sometimes it could be forced. So these companies maybe kidnap girls or something. I don't know how it works, but it's very, very bad, I think. But Abdul, have you heard about it?
No.
I heard about it. $2,000, okay, and you get your bride to your country.
Yeah, get a bride, yeah? So if you have money, you can choose a really beautiful girl, and sometimes you can't even speak the same language, yeah? So it's just really big.
Actually, I heard about it from Philippines.
Somebody muted you, sir.
Usually, oh yeah, so it depends on, it's not one specific country, but usually I hear a lot from maybe some Russia, I think, Philippines, also Nigeria, places like this. But it, of course, depends. It's not based on a particular nationality. It's just these maybe companies exploit somehow, yeah? So it's very, very bad industry. For the girls as well, I think it's dreadful, yeah? So if they're kidnapped or whatever, or I don't know how it works, but I think it's really bad for the girls.
Yeah,
Although
I think that also.
They get to marry maybe a rich husband, yeah? So that could, I don't know, out of choice, maybe that would be a good thing if they're not forced to do that, yeah? So I don't know. Okay, has anyone heard about this in their countries, yeah? So is there this kind of industry, mail order brides and things like this?
No, I didn't heard about this.
Okay, yeah, so it's quite.
And you said that it's in UK, right?
Yeah. So, for example, I'll send you a link to Wikipedia. It's a mail order bride, and you can read about this later if you like. So, just saying what it is. So, basically, a woman who lists herself in the catalogues. Yes, it works. There are some websites. I won't show you now because some of them could be inappropriate. I don't know. But if you Google, I don't know. Whatever you like. Yeah, this bride. There'll probably be a company that arranges to sell this kind of thing, yeah. So it could be with the woman's permission. I don't know how it works, but I've just heard about it. And you can see this sometimes if you walk in the streets in the UK. You see a really old man with a young girl from a different country, and you probably think, oh, yeah, maybe he bought her or something, or as in paid her money at least, or paid an agency money to arrange this, something like that. Yeah, but it's
very cheap actually.
Sorry, Bassam?
I heard it's very cheap, just $2,000.
I don't know, yes, I haven't bought one yet, but
I have an idea about it.
So it's about $1,000. I don't know. It really is the agency makes the money. I don't know if the girl gets any money, but the agency make a lot of money from this, I think. But I don't know if it's legal. I'm not sure. I just heard about it.
I think it's legal in their countries.
Okay, so it happens that maybe they can't sell them in. But yeah, I think it's dreadful. Yeah, buying a bride. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, of course, might have a disease.
Yeah, anything could happen. But yeah, okay, so that's something, yeah? So that could also be a reason for marriage. There's lots of different reasons for marriage, but the common one is just because old-fashioned, you love this girl, or she loves a guy, whatever, they marry because of love. It's not usually for any other reasons, I would say, unless things occasionally about money. But, most girls don't want to marry a rich, well, they do want to marry a rich husband. A lot of girls nowadays have their own careers, and they just don't require their husband's money anyway, yeah? So they don't care so much for those reasons. They'll just marry because of love. Okay, so okay, we got engaged a couple of years after. That's quite clear. Let's go to the next paragraph. We've got 6 minutes, and this is about marriage. Who would like to read this section?
Can I read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. We got married the following years. We didn't want a big ceremony, so we had the wedding in the local church near Melanie's house with just family and 2 friends. Afterwards, we have the reception in a small hotel nearby, and then we went on our honeymoon to Greece.
Okay, yeah, so we got married the following year to get married. Yeah, that's so they got engaged. What was it? When did they get engaged? So they were in a serious relationship at university. Then they got engaged a couple of years after we left university. So they didn't even commit themselves to get married. Maybe that it sounds like they were together for. Wait. Yeah, at university, then maybe 2 or 3 years after university, then they got engaged. Which didn't mean to say they got married 2 or 3 years after university. They probably waited a bit longer. And in fact, it says a year later. So maybe 4 years after leaving university, they got married. And they were together in a serious relationship during university. Yeah, so it wasn't like it was a quick thing. Yeah, so they've known each other for a long time. They know good things, bad things, that kind of thing. Okay, so got married the following year. We didn't want a big ceremony. Okay, do you know what this means? A ceremony.
Yeah, it's a party, right?
Yes, the wedding celebration.
Party?
Yeah. So it's the wedding celebration. It's the actual event, the day of marriage, yeah? So with the dress, with the nice clothes, with the good food, and with the gifts, yes? Okay, so we didn't want a big ceremony. Some girls, some couples want a big traditional church wedding with the white dress and, you know, all the tradition. Even if they're not Christian, they would want the church wedding. But some will just want to go into a registry office, what we call a registry office. Okay? Registry office is where you go if you just want to get married officially. You don't want the ceremony. It's a very quick process, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, in, out, sign the documents, blah, 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 done. Okay? That's also possible if you don't want a ceremony. To go to a registry office.
Sorry, Martin, is this register office is for the country, right?
Yeah, it's you go to your local town. So you go to your local town's registry office. This is like the local town, I guess, government, whatever. And you would arrange. You can have a little ceremony where you invite some friends and you just go, but it's very, very official. It's not like the traditional white dress wedding. And if you're interested, I'll show you.
Civil marriage, right? This civil marriage.
Sorry. Right, here's a traditional British wedding. In fact, well, you saw, I don't know if you saw, yeah, Kate, the royal wedding last year. That's not everyone, but that's kind of an idea, having that was kind of a traditional wedding. On a very expensive wedding, of course, they're royalty, but with the white dress, the carriage, the cake, things like this. This would be a traditional, oh look, see, two different cultures to get married. That would be a traditional wedding, but I'll show you what it's like at a registry office, okay?
All the words, so that marriage ceremony.
So this will be at a registry office. It's very small, it's not so luxurious, and it's just very practical. You're in, you invite some friends if you want to, and you're married. Done. .com. Finished. Yeah? That kind of thing.
Just to legalize your relationship, you know.
Yeah, some people want to get married. We talked about earlier, some people don't get married even if they love. But it's a kind of nice thing to do just to confirm, yeah? Just say, yeah, we love, even if it's not necessary in society, yeah? So some people just like to confirm it, yeah?
We have the same here in Egypt. We have the same here in Egypt also.
So there's registry office, wedding, or just about marriage?
Sorry, you're talking to me. Sorry. I said that we have the same here in Egypt also, registry and traditional ceremony.
Okay, and it's just again like this. And what do you say most people want to have? Most people want to go to the registry office, or would most people want a traditional wedding?
It depends upon on what they want and what's their budget. So, but we have the. Yes, but we have the both here in Egypt, and both of them is very nice. When what we say here, when the bride and bridegroom are in love, it will be fantastic, whatever it is.
Yeah, no matter, and it's not always about how much money you spend, but quite often the women want to have the day where they can be like a princess and wear the white dress. Yeah, I don't know if that's for you girls there, if that's. Dream Your Country, or if it's something different. But guys, we've run out of time, so I've got to go to another class, but very, very interesting speaking to you, and hopefully we can catch up in a future session, okay? So hopefully that was okay, and interesting to hear your experiences, particularly in the first class, about like the parents and involvement stuff. Very interesting. So guys, hope that was useful to you. Take care and hopefully speak to you soon, okay? Bye-bye. Yeah.
Thank you.